Hello out there, everyone. My name is Chris, also known as CV, and welcome to my channel, The Reconverted Catholic. Now, for those of you visiting this channel for the first time or may not be familiar with my own spiritual journey, my story, I'm a revert to the Catholicism, my Catholic Christian faith, after having been a militant, pretty brutal new atheist for, well over 10 years. And prior to that, evangelical Protestant Christian for close to 5 years. So yes, it's been a bit of a roller coaster ride journey. And from that, I'm hoping to share my experiences of having been in the trenches of this journey, and hope to give my own perspective, share my story, and also help lead people to Christ or the truth of Catholic Christian faith. In fact, I encourage you to, if you haven't checked out my conversion story, it's here on the channel, as well as several videos I have about dialoguing with atheists, or problems with atheism, and skepticism against the Catholic Christian faith. So please feel free to check those out and let me know what you think. Now let's jump into today's topic. This is a recommended video, What the Far Left Fears the Most. Now, it may not be a surprise that I'm sharing yet another video by one of my favorite Catholic apologists, Trent Horn. Still, this is one subject that must be at the center of our societal conversation these days. Identity politics are so much all the rage that the rage from it is causing even more rage across our increasing divisiveness throughout the U.S. And because the silent majority is still, well, largely silent about intersectional ideologies, which are not at all grounded in objective truth and reality, and strong-arming our schools and other institutions into basal submission, we who are speaking up must continue to do so. Even at the risk of being marginalized and, quote, canceled, we can't just roll over and let dangerously false ideas wipe out real truth and social well-being. Hence below is linked is the video by Trent Horn, again, and that one is called What the Far Left Fears the Most. And why am I recommending this? Well, because as I briefly mentioned a minute ago, there's clearly an uprising across universities, and which is infiltrating corporations and public schools to shut down any perspectives that go against feelings over facts. It is exactly what happens when identity politics becomes popular. History has painfully shown again and again what happens when identity politics mixes with misunderstandings about power, and when a relatively small group of tantrum-throwing, tribalistic truth deniers think that identity is infinitely malleable, yet must be equalized in every possible area of life and human interaction. In other words, this movement doesn't stop at made-up ideas about gender. It wants you to believe that you can create whatever worldview suits you best, as long as it doesn't threaten feelings, and then for everyone else to accept it, including making special concessions for it in all institutions. It's one of the many reasons why identity politics and intersectional theories are not only rooted in fiction, but they are also inherently evil. When a group wants to eradicate objective truth and fair debate, and replace it with an entirely self-serving agenda, two things happen. One, the group plays identity politics. The group playing identity politics will eventually destroy their own, as what always happens in societies built on subjective truth and feelings. And two, society as a whole will turn on each other and devolve more into tribalism and exchanging false stories of oppression and inequity. Just look at the divisions happening between red and blue states. Now, both of these issues reveal a country that doesn't know how to communicate about truth and reality, which then leaves the door wide open for Trojan horse type movements such as LGBT, and of course other movements as well that make truth claims, but are having a lot of difficulties, as we're seeing, defending those truth claims. And think about this also for a second. When I talk about like equity, and again this idea of every group being equally represented across every space, every domain, every institution, every part of life, okay? Think about this. We have 7 billion, over 7 billion people on the planet. Imagine if every single person has a worldview, a separate worldview, okay? Whatever that is, the two has their own truth. Everybody has their own truth. And then that truth must be, again, equally represented everywhere. How is that possible? How can we actually achieve that? I appreciate you watching this video. Thanks very much for stopping by the channel here. Feel free to leave comments. Please feel free to weigh in on this conversation. Or feel free to email me at trcatholic@gmail.com. Again, trcatholic@gmail.com. And until the next video, stay safe out there and God bless.